Welcome. This is DebateCraft Gaming with Mike and Max. Mike, how you doing?
What's up, brother?
Today we have the honor of discussing a very interesting topic. Obviously, it is jumping right into the real deal of video game topics, and that is greatest video game ever. Mike, you excited for this topic?
Yeah, because I already know what you're arguing, and it's going to be easy.
You're saying that my argument for best video game ever is going to be easy to defeat? Is that what you're saying?
Without a doubt.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that you have the, foundational game of all existence, and that the one you've chosen is for sure the correct answer to this. Is that fair to say?
Fair enough. Let's lay out specifically, just for terms, what this looks like. When we say video game, are we talking about a singular title, or are we talking about games that encompass a series? Is it because title versus series is a big,
Okay.
I think, point.
That you're being clever with this question, since obviously we're not coming into this totally blind. I think that the audience will understand when I say what my game is, that encompasses both an original but also the impact it's have and all those iterations. Your game is going to be a little less complex in that regard, because it is not iterative in the same aspect. We're not talking like Madden is the best game ever, but I'm only talking about Madden 22. That's not it. But we'll get to that in a second. This will fundamentally have to be argued, though, about if we're talking games that are iterative or have more than one version. Is that included? So I'm sure you're going to debate that, right?
Possibly. I may let you have it because I still think it's free.
Fair enough. I mean, I think that the audience will understand what we're saying. So I don't think we need to be coy anymore about it. Would you like to state what you believe is the best game ever, or should I?
I'm going to take a singular title, and I'm going to take Minecraft.
Fair enough. Well, I'm going to arguably take a singular title, even though since it's so objectively the greatest game ever, they've had to remake it a million times, and that is Tetris. So I am taking Tetris, and you are taking Minecraft. So Minecraft, the open world sandbox creativity game. That is the game you're taking.
Yeah, let's start with, okay, because I think it's better, because the one thing I'm going to concede, I'll concede it off the rip, is Tetris is more iconic in the sense of it has been around for a while, and it's more, I would say, largely more known to older generations, right? It's withstood the test of time, essentially.
Okay.
I can concede that. Why would you label it, though? Because that's not enough to label something the best game of all time. Just withstanding the test of time doesn't necessarily mean it's the best of all time. Like, what features about Tetris? What do you like about Tetris that puts it into that category?
So I think the way that we have to look at these is actually what you said there. It stands the test of time. It's not just I can look at games and say right now that game probably exceeds it in terms of the amount of people playing it and its revolutionary aspects of it, and X, Y, and Z other aspects, so we'll probably go into it a little bit. But Tetris, even in its original form, even if we're talking about the very first version of it, and if we want to talk about like the original Game Boy version, as opposed to some of the newer versions of it, people are still going to play that version, so it's fundamentally the same game. And the amount of people who have played it exceeds almost every other game. That's a debatable aspect we'll get into as well. But on a fundamental level, people are playing Tetris now, and people will play Tetris probably to the extent that people are playing video games, of course, 100 years from now. 20, 30 years ago, I mean, people will probably say, well, something will exceed the quality of Tetris or some variation of it. But I don't believe that at least in the fundamental aspects of it, it'll ever disappear. It hit the perfect aspects of a game that is easy to pick up and simple, but impossible to master. And so there's always a continued reason to continue playing it. I'll let you respond to that, and then I'll ask you, what is it that makes Minecraft that, let's say, ultimate game that allows people to keep playing it as well?
Okay. I think there's parts of that I would concede, but I'm also going to extend the argument because it kind of relates to Minecraft as well. Excuse me. One portion of that being that Tetris may be around for a long time or could continue to be around for a long time. I think that's proven true because it's been around, I think, for 40 years, and it's probably going to continue being around. That being said, it's like if you look at what Minecraft did, it kind of started the survival sandbox MMO and took it to a separate level. Games, Conan Exiles, other survival types games really started to thrive when they took what Minecraft did, which is like a survival exploration game, and built off that. I think Minecraft is going to be around for at least 10 to 20 years. At the link Tetris has been around. I would say it's Tetris has been around 40, Minecraft will be around 40. I also think whether or not it continues to be there and it is the primary game, there are games that are going to be made from this that have been influenced by it, that are going to expand what it did. I think the cultural impact of this game is larger than Tetris. And I know that's a lot to say because of how classic Tetris is and what it did for gaming. But what Minecraft is offering modern day gamers and what it has took gaming to far exceeds what Tetris did. And we can go into that if you want. So
I think we'll need to go into that, like right now.
Sure. Okay, so you were saying, okay, so let's look at like I'll say what makes Tetris. I'm going to go to a comparison, and we can just kind of wing this as we go.
I mean, you just put me on blast right there. Like the cultural impact of the game. I mean, yeah, you're absolutely correct that it does have that impact regarding the survival genre. It does have that impact regarding kind of the staying power of open world sandbox creative games. Tetris has that too with video games in general. I mean, it created the entire puzzle genre of games. It created the entire genre of handheld console gaming. I mean, I'll retract that slightly. There would have been probably something else and it existed, but Tetris is what made that the mainstream thing it is. So anything you say about Minecraft becoming a cultural touchstone, Tetris did before it and continues to do so, at least in terms of its staying power.
And I disagree with it somewhat because you're using a game that's like, okay, it basically like it modernized gaming in a way. And I think there's plenty of games that you can make that argument for that fulfilled similar things.
Like
Pong being like Pong. If you want to go back into like an Atari, an older game, Pong does what Tetris did, and actually probably is one of the reasons that became to be. Or if you want to look at games,
you're correct about Pong. Yeah, I will concede that Pong just doesn't have the staying power of Tetris because it's a little too more generic of a game. But yes, Pong is a good thing to look at as well.
Even to bigger cultural impact games, right? Like, because Tetris has been around for 40 years. Another game, like, and I didn't argue this because it's like it's a title versus a series. Mario was around 1980 something. And what Mario did for gaming also took gaming to a different level.
Absolutely. It's like for the platform game. It invented the genre of platform games that survived all the way until like the N64 genre of gaming, until gaming became officially 3D.
It's still going, right? Like, I mean, like the thing about Tetris.
It's not revolutionizing the series of platforms. I mean, it's still a great series, but I mean, we're talking about its touchstones of cultural impact.
Yeah, no, I mean, Mario by itself, I would say culturally just changed gaming as a whole. It was the game that made people game. Like back when you were a kid.
I'm not disagreeing with this. I'd just say if that's the argument you want to make it for that series.
I'm with you. I'm just tying it together, right? So the argument that you're making is Tetris as a whole, like, revolutionized gaming. And I'm like, I think there's a bunch of different titles in that timeline.
Yes. I'm saying it is one aspect of Tetris that you don't disagree with.
Okay, so what I'm going to tie into now is kind of like where I was going with that, is Tetris is a linear game, right? Like the big contrast in these two games to me, and why. I mean, we can go into a whole bunch of different arguments, but Tetris is the same concept. It's the same thing. It doesn't really alter much, and there is no variability in what you're doing. Right?
Okay, I think you'll dismiss this argument pretty quickly. It doesn't matter that it hasn't changed anything. Its popularity is due to exactly what it provides. Otherwise, you'd have to argue, well, chess. You're never playing a different game of chess, and it's the most popular game in the history of the universe. I don't think you're going to be overly criticizing chess now, are you?
No, I would agree. Chess is also fundamentally, like, I mean, hands down, it's probably the most popular game of all time. And
exactly.
It's like chess,
I'm just saying this whole line of argument is not necessary.
I mean, comparing chess to Tetris is like apples and oranges as well, right? Like that's something chess has been
only
something
in that both are the greatest thing of all time. That's the comparison I'm making.
you're comparing something that's like been around like what since the 1800s to something that's like
I
1980.
think it's far earlier than the 1800s.
Yeah,
Chess
or
is. We
however.
should probably Google this, but chess has probably been around. Is it not a millennia at least? I don't quite know the history of chess. And in fact, we should have a discussion on the history of chess. But for now, let's just agree that probably the cultural impact of Minecraft and Tetris don't quite reach chess. But I'm just saying that you can't make the argument that since Tetris is fundamentally kind of the same in each iteration of, I'm sorry, in each version of the game you play, or each experience you have with it, that takes away from its impact and quality. I don't think you're really
Yeah,
making that argument.
no, I'm not necessarily making that. I guess it's just a hard comparison, right? Yeah, when I'm saying chess, by the way, just to clarify what I was saying, I don't mean like literal chess. Like I mean certain rules and stuff were probably, I would imagine, somewhere between the 1500s or 1800s. I'm not exactly sure, but like the modern way that we know it to be played. But yeah, I think the linear part of Tetris limits it from what it can do, right? Like, and you're saying it's a popular game, and
That
this is
is the
what we were
point of it, though. You're criticizing the point of the game.
the simplicity of the game. I mean, I think the simplicity is what limits it. I
Simplicity is
agree.
its strength. The simplicity of
Yeah,
the game is the strength of Tetris. It's the same game. You're creating lines. That's it. The problem with Minecraft is it's too big. The open world is too large, and I can't make a
yeah.
spherical object.
So if you're playing Tetris, like from your perspective, right? Like if you sit down, turn it on, how long can you play it before you get bored? Like what is a reasonable, like you could play it for what,
Wait,
10,
wait, wait.
20?
Okay, I don't think this is a fair point because in my younger years, I could probably sit down and play 3 hours of Tetris. I can't do anything now for
A
more in terms
normal,
of video game playing for more than about a half an hour at a time, and that
a
may not
norm,
even be fair. And maybe a new game will motivate me to play it for longer. But I can play a solid hour of Tetris and kind of be zen for an hour. But that's different for every game, of course.
would you would you agree that Minecraft has more like it has more retainage in how
I
long you
I've
play and what
played. I'll just say you're not gonna argue me into this. I've put
not you,
hundreds
I'm
of
saying
hours into Minecraft, and I enjoyed Minecraft. There is no reason for me to pick up Minecraft ever again. I played it. I put hundreds of hours into it. I enjoyed playing with friends. I enjoyed doing what I did. I build football stadiums in Minecraft, and I loved every moment of it. I'm not gonna ever pick up it again because there are now other games that scratch that itch. There is nothing that will ever scratch the itch that I get from Tetris, other than maybe Beat Saber, and those are the two greatest games of all time, objectively.
okay. Do you think that how you feel about that applies to other people? Like if you
No,
take
no,
a
of course
or
not.
if
Of
you
course
take
not.
somebody, yeah. So it's like what you're making. And what my overall point is, if you took, I would imagine different age groups, and this is definitely a vague statement, but I would imagine it's true. Is if you took like a 10-year-old, a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old, and you put them down, and they're not used to gaming or they're getting into gaming, right? It's something that's new, and you said, hey, what are you going to enjoy more, and what can you get more longevity out of? A lot of the times it would be Minecraft because like you are going to get limited at some point. At least, I mean, I enjoy Tetris. I can play Tetris 20 minutes at a time before I want to blow my brains out because you're moving the same sticks down over and over and over and over and over.
I,
And the
I
repetitive part is fun and it's competitive.
Okay,
I
I
agree.
disavow that last part that you said. Just to be clear to the audience, I disavow it. However, I will agree with you. There is some more depth to Minecraft, but depth is not necessarily the argument for what's the greatest ever. It's just that this game allows for an infinite supply of being played, even maybe if it's a half an hour at a time versus, there are like games of far more complexity that'll just
The,
become outdated, and that's probably true of Minecraft.
let's nail specific points. What is the specific? So the point you're making. I'm agreeing that it's timeless in a way. What is the specific point that you're saying? Why is it the best game? Is it the simplicity?
It
Is it the
is. It is simple. It's
popularity?
easy to pick up and learn. Anybody can do it and pick up and learn in about 5 minutes. It could take you 10 years or more to really master the game and understand the nuances of the genius of Tetris. That is it. It's a simple game. Its simplicity is part of its appeal, and it's just you can endlessly get better at it. That is true of a lot of games, and that's certainly probably true to some degree in Minecraft, that you get better at the creative aspects, and that's going to appeal more to some people. But I think right now you can say the staying power of Tetris is certainly an argument in its favor, and the simplicity and overall kind of the phrase I'm looking for here refers to its kind of staying power in terms of its lasting appeal. It's a game that doesn't ever really need to be changed, even though it has more modernized versions.
I could concede portions of that to the extent like lasting power is such a hard thing to compare just because Minecraft's like what it was released in 2011 2012,
Yeah, it's a fairly
so it's
new game,
relatively
relatively speaking. But
yeah,
for
so it's
the decade
relatively
and a
new.
half, it's
So
amazing. Its staying power for a decade
yeah,
and a half are amazing. Yes.
I mean, even popularity wise, I would say Minecraft is more popular in the time it's been around than Tetris, right? Like Tetris has been around for 40 years. And I know this is kind of what we were
Sure.
referencing before, like whether it's a series or a title. And I'll even let you take the series because I still think it's fair enough that you can take the series versus like the old school version of Tetris, right? Like breakdown, even, this is an ad populum in a way, but popularity does contribute to like what games are like really seeing stay, right? It has to be because they're intertwined. If it wasn't popular, it wouldn't be staying around.
Absolutely.
Like Tetris has been around what 1980, 1985, 1984, somewhere in there. 500 plus million copies throughout all the franchises.
Yep.
Minecraft has been around for 2011, 2012, like 12 years, 350 million in one singular title, right? You break that down like comparatively to like copies per year, Minecraft has maintained a higher level of popularity through every single year since its release at a higher volume than Tetris. Like there is not a singular year that Minecraft has not performed. Every year it's selling 20 to 30 million copies. And it's consistently doing that and has never shown signs of slowing down. So it's hard for me to argue staying power just because I don't have the 40 years to argue. But what I can say in 1/4 the amount of time, it's sold more than half the amount of copies that Tetris has. I would almost say 3/4 of the amount of copies as a franchise. So there is a level. I will give you the staying power because yeah, it's been around for 40 years. But if you look at where we're at 10 to 20 years from now, Minecraft showed no signs of slowing down. Something else I'll add to that, the reason why it does that is similar to what I was saying earlier, is Tetris is a linear game, and there are good things about linear games. Chess, you play the same game, and it's competitive, and you can grow, and you can learn. Tetris, you can do that. It limits you, right? It's not even to the degree chess is because it's the same motions over and over. And there's definitely people that are going to exceed at a higher level and people that just suck at it. What Minecraft has is the versatility. Not only can you build, there's PvP, there's survival, there's community aspects to it. There is literally millions. Like if you go to YouTube and just look at some of the survival arcs or some of the social experiments they do with Minecraft, Ish, for example, is a massive YouTube creator. One of the videos that he put out had, I think it was like 10 to 20 million views just on like social concepts of Minecraft. There is an infinite number or an infinite amount of content that can be created because of what Minecraft offers. Whether that's like, I want to stick 200 people in here and give them rewards and see how they interact. Are they going to kill each other? Or there's infinite amounts of creativity. Let's see who can build the best thing. Or how does this game function? There's people literally coding like inside the game with redstone to make these massive creations. They use it in schools. It's like used all throughout the world to teach people different things, right? Like it's included in education. It's the versatility of this game that's what is going to allow it to succeed and continue to succeed.
Okay, so I appreciate all that, and I'm not going to disagree with that because you're right. The complexity is greater. However, I am arguing that the simplicity that makes Tetris the greatest game. Obviously, this is going to appeal to different groups. And in the comments, that I encourage everybody to engage in the comments and let us know which side you fall onto this. This simplicity and you've stuck with it, or Minecraft and you love that, and that is really just a matter of opinion, and that is why both of these games are going to have the staying power forever. Of course, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate it. Where do you fall on this debate? Is it Minecraft or is it Tetris? Thank you very much.